I don't know your particular circumstance or your particular pain this morning, but what I really want to impress on you is that I want you to be encouraged because life will name you, people will name you, circumstance will name you. You might walk into a room and people don't even see the glory of who you are because, you look pretty young, you don't look like much, or they think you're not much, and yet our God is the one who chooses, our God is the one who puts inside us a dream for us to live out, our God is the one who predestines us. So as we go out this morning, I just want to strengthen you by the fact that do not let people name you, do not let life name you, do not let circumstances name you. And sometimes you may have done what they said you did, but you are not who they say you are, because we are first and foremost spiritual beings, and the God that predestined us is a God that will set us apart, is a God that will make all man see that it is his light that will ultimately shine out of us. And ultimately, as it says at 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 12, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know more fully, even as I have been fully known. And I think that's such a deep little statement in the Bible, and I'm just going to repeat it because it is extremely deep. It says at 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 12, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And I think that it just speaks to the fact that, right now we're encased in flesh, but who we are really is a spiritual soul, who we are is a spirit. And it's only part of our glory that is shining forth in terms of all our spiritual deeds. But when our body dies, we'll go to the rest of eternity, and we will not be dimly seen. Now we only see in part. In terms of now, our spiritual deeds are only seen in part. But then, we'll claim the full glory of Christ, and we will be fully spiritual. And then, as we are fully spiritual, we'll see face to face. We'll see God face to face. We'll see Jesus face to face, and we will be fully known. And so, if you are going out this morning, and you feel particularly persecuted because life is naming you, people are naming you, rumors are naming you, circumstances are naming you, people want to destroy your reputation, what little reputation you have left. People want to name you. People want to put you in boxes because sometimes you might be different, you might be special, and so other people just want to steal that glory, steal that joy, and they want to just spread rumors about you just so that people don't like you and people classify you as soon as they see you. But our God is a faithful God, because those who he predestined, he will let those things come to pass in their life in terms of making them shine and making them be true beacons of the world. So as you go out this morning and life might have named you, people might have named you, rumors might have named you, I just want to encourage you that you are not who they say you are, and that you should remember who you are in Christ. You should remember who you are as a spiritual being, and that you should remember that God is the one who makes the sovereign choice. And so you should just be renewed in your mind, renewed in your spirit, because often life will name us, people will name us, rumors will name us, but that is not who we are, and God will ultimately work out our destiny for us. So even if people are naming you and it's quite horrible what they're saying, I just want you to be strengthened and encouraged, because sometimes the worse the rumor is, the worse the circumstances, sometimes when you're named so badly, I think it just embarrasses people when the glory of God will shine out of you, when your nature will come out, when your deeds will come out. And if they've gone around with this vicious campaign in terms of trying to snare you, in terms of trying to name you, in terms of trying to make people hate you, in terms of defining you because they heard the rumor and this is how they define you, those things will not come to pass, because at the end of the day, God's light will shine out of you, God's glory will shine out of you, and his message will shine out of you. And those people will be so disappointed, because at the end of the day, much weight won't be put to that rumor, because at the end of the day, God sovereignly chooses, and it is God's choice, and God will define you. So if you feel particularly marred this morning, you feel as if life is naming you, people are naming you, rumors are naming you, and sometimes it can be justified, sometimes it really isn't justified, because people are just adding to those rumors. But whatever the campaign is against your life, whatever the assignment is against your life, the devil is a liar, because the devil can sometimes use people to orchestrate against you. And sometimes, things will come that is so overwhelming because it's so unfair that life is naming you and people are naming you, rumors are naming you. But I just want you to strengthen you this morning that you should be renewed in your minds and renewed in your spirit, because God is not a man that he should lie. And that God will obviously work out in you what you're incapable of working out in yourself. So sometimes, you should just give yourself a break and not let life name you, ultimately. Because as we talk about, remembering who you are, in the context of what 1 Peter 2 says from verse 9, that you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. I just want you to be strengthened by that word, because we might have done certain things in life that years later we're paying for, in terms of people swirling around rumors, or we might not have even done that, and people are still swirling around rumors because they want to steal our joy. They want people to hate us, and they've got their own agenda, and they're full of politics and policy and whatever it is that drives them. And yet our God is a faithful God, because those who he chose he will call out, those who he predestined he will call out. And sometimes I think that when people try and name you, when rumors try and name you, when life tries to name you, it is almost a sign that there is an anointing in your life. There's a sign there is a blessing in your life, and that people are so scared of what you might birth out. They might not see it in full. They might not see the full glory of what it is you're going to birth out, but they're so scared because your spirit is so strong. They're so scared because, you walk into a room and you're pretty strong, and, that you have this strength, and they don't even know where it comes from. But by all means, they'll try and kill it in one way or the other. But I just want you to be strengthened this morning that even if life is naming you, even if circumstances are naming you, even if rumors are naming you, that you're just strengthened by the fact that you are not who they say you are, and that you are first and foremost spiritual. And, you are God's chosen people. You're precious to him. And we will build a spiritual house eventually by just doing more spiritual deeds and living in a more godlike manner. And even if people try and name you by life, and name you by circumstance, and name you by their estimation of you, and name you by rumors, I really hope that you will not listen to those rumors. You will not listen to how people try and name you. That you will just work out in you what you thought in the past you've been incapable of working out, in terms of, you're just strengthened by the fact that if you do good, if you do well, leave the rest to God, in terms of let him work out your destiny, let him work out what it is you're meant to do. But never let people define you or name you or put you in their small box of who they say you are and who they say you used to be, because at the end of the day that picture is so small. And I think, you should just let the haters hate, as they say in America, because we can't control what people say. We can't control the rumors about us. We can't control how other people try and define us. We can't control sometimes, that we have so much light inside us, we have so much strength inside us, that they'll try and kill us spiritually by letting life name us and letting rumors name us. And yet our God is a faithful God who will work out in you what you have been incapable of working out in yourself. So as you go out this morning, I just really hope you're strengthened by the fact that God is the one who decides, and God is the one who makes his ultimate choice. And as it says in Colossians 3 from verse 9 to 10, that you should put off the old man with his deeds and put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Meaning that you should put on the old self, the old person, whoever you used to be, whoever they say you are, and whoever the rumors say you are. Just put it off. It's not who you are, and just put on this new self, the new man. Put on a new spiritual presence, a new spiritual sense, and just walk out your destiny. Because at the end of the day, it can be so hurtful when you hear rumors about you. It can be so hurtful when people are trying to destroy you. It can be hurtful particularly when those rumors aren't true. And yet our God is a faithful God, and He's not a man that He should lie. And you should sometimes just leave it to God to work out in you what you're incapable of working out in yourself. Because sometimes rumors are like fires. You can't control it. It can spread. It can be very devastating. It can be extremely hurtful. But sometimes you just leave it to God, because you can't control other people's mouths. You can't control what they'll say about you. You can't control how vicious they are. You can't control if they're making up lies about you, because they're trying to destroy your reputation, and they're trying to stop you being impactful by circulating rumors about you. And yet our God is a faithful God. So sometimes I think it can be so overwhelming when people are talking about you. But you should just leave some things to God, because in all our might, in all our power, we can't control what people are saying. So the way we can, just live out our lives is to just be faithful to God, and be faithful in terms of working out His agenda on this earth. Be faithful in terms of just being, good citizens, good people, and be silent when people are trying to destroy our reputation and destroy our name, because God will work out in us what we're incapable of working out for ourselves, and God will ultimately decide. And so He will silence the people who are creating rumors about you. He will silence the people who are hating against you, because ultimately when your glory shines, eventually those rumors will seem even more ridiculous, and those people will seem even more hateful, I think, because it's like, life is life, and you can't control what other people say, and you should just work out in you what you're incapable of working out in yourself, by just having this renewed mind, renewed spirit, and knowing that God is a faithful God that will work out in you what you're incapable of working out in yourself. And if you've just tuned in, you're listening to me, Amanda Clinton, on Our Father's House, which is a program that builds God's spiritual house by using a variety of platforms, including radio. And on today's show, I'm just basically talking about remembering who you are, which sounds, like quite a strange title for a show. But I'm talking about remembering who you are, because sometimes I think we just have to just strengthen ourselves in knowing that we are so much more than flesh, so much more than ego, so much more than other people's rumors about us, other people's estimations about us. And it's important to put that in context, because we can be so overwhelmed by how life names us. We can be so overwhelmed by how rumors name us. We can be so overwhelmed by how people name us and how they strategize. And, it's so overwhelming to live in a world where we are most of the time defined by what other people say we are, and yet we are a royal priesthood. We are chosen a nation, a holy nation, as it says at 1 Peter 2, and we should be strengthened by the fact that God is the one who predestines who He wants. He's the one who chooses who He wants. He's the one who set us apart from the foundations of the earth. And if all these things are true, which the Bible tells us they're true, then I think we shouldn't allow life to name us. We shouldn't allow rumors to name us. We shouldn't allow people to name us. Therefore, you should just prepare your minds for action, and being sober-minded, set yourself hopefully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Christ Jesus, as it says at 1 Peter 1 verse 13. Because every day I think of new subject matters, new topics to talk about, and today I'm particularly talking about how sometimes life can name you, and people can name you, and rumors can name you, because it dawned on me last night how overwhelming it can be when people try and define you by their estimations of you, when people try and swirl rumors about you to just ruin your reputation, and how hurtful it can be. And yet we shouldn't be consumed by rumors about us. We shouldn't be consumed by other people's estimations about us, because if we live in this world, people are obviously going to hate. People are obviously going to say things about us, and sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not justified. Sometimes rumors are like fires. And yet our God is a faithful God, because we should allow Him to just deal with those people. We should allow Him to silence those people. We should allow Him to just be God, and let us be man, in terms of just be His monuments, and let us be spiritual in nature, and let us be good citizens, and let us just work out His agenda, His plan on this earth. And if we work out God's agenda, He will deal with people for us, because sometimes in all our strength, in all our might, We can't silence the rumours. We can't silence the fire that is created by the rumours. We can't silence other people's estimation of us. So sometimes we should just let God be God, in terms of just letting God deal with those people, and just concentrating on working God's agenda on this earth, in terms of,